All right, today I'm joined by my friend Glennda Baker, the Glitter Queen, and we are going to talk about how Glennda has generated over $108,000 directly from TikTok already in the first 5 months of this year. You're not going to miss this one. All right, Glennda, I am so excited. You know, we were at breakfast the other morning, and as we were at breakfast, you had just said, you aren't going to believe this. Check this out, what's going on. And with this one video I posted this morning on TikTok and how it's going viral. And as I've watched this thing now, over 7 million views in just a few weeks, I had to circle back because you're one of the best innovators I know. It seems like, you know, if you've been doing this so long, and one of the things is we always have to recreate ourselves. Talk to me about TikTok and what specifically you've been finding. A lot of people say it's a kids app, but talk to us about some of the results you're seeing. Let's start with that, if you don't mind.
So, Jimmy, it is insane what we are seeing happen on TikTok. So I started actually met with somebody last February, February 2020, and decided I was really going to commit to video. And then, of course, we entered into this crazy phase, and I was so happy that I didn't hire that videographer. And so fast forward to August, and I'm like, okay, we're going to make it out of this. We're all going to come out alive. And I talked to the videographer, and we set up to shoot in October. So Q4 of 2020, I said, okay, I'm going to get really intentional about TikTok. I spoke with a professional videographer and filmmaker and said, hey, would you consider shooting TikTok videos for me? And he goes, you do realize you can shoot those from your phone? And I said, that's not the extension of my brand that I'm looking for. There's this guy who gives dating advice, Matthew Hussey. I love his style, and I want my videos to look like his, but I want to talk about real estate advice. And he said, okay. And he goes, and we talked a little bit about some pricing, and he goes, okay. He goes, I'll do that if you'll sign a 6-month contract. And I'm like, okay, great. Send me the paperwork. He sends me the paperwork. I sign off in 5 minutes. And he's like, okay, let's go. So the first shoot, I was able to shoot 8 TikTok videos and 4 real estate from the roads. Mm-hmm. And the real estate from the road was terrible. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. We didn't even air them. It was so bad. And so fast forward 8 months later, we just had shoot number 8. I was able to shoot 45 videos. So 25 TikToks in the morning. And then we did 15 LinkedIns. And I did those 15 LinkedIns in 24 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was rolling. Mm-hmm. And then we shot 5 more videos, just some short snackable size videos just about Glennda, like get to know Glennda. Mm-hmm. So I've definitely gotten better at being able to shoot the product and kind of flow with it. So for me, we batch the content and we shoot 1 day a month. Denver gets to my house. We shoot it all from my house. Denver gets to my house at 7 and sets up. I have a call to greatness every morning at 8 o'clock. So I come down about 8:10, and from 8:10 to 8:30, we frame out which topics are going to be TikTok and which topics are going to be LinkedIn. And then we shoot from 8:30 to 11:30, all TikTok. And then 11:30 to 12:30, we take a break. And then at 1 o'clock, we kick off my Glennda Goes Off, which is my Reels series on Instagram. And then Glennda's Guide to Real Estate, which is my LinkedIn series. And then we go to, and then we shoot some just like general marketing videos. So expired, for sale by owner, why work with Glennda, that kind of stuff. And some personal, Glennda.
So this is pretty amazing day, and that you have that one day. I want to touch on some of that a little bit, but let's give some people an idea of kind of results you're starting to see with this. I mean, this is what was pretty incredible when we were talking, if you don't mind.
Right. So I post a video every morning between 6 and 7 a.m. And I guess it was, okay, so it was April 14th. I posted a video about, what did I post? Oh, about being house poor. And that video right off the bat got about 2 million views. I think it's up to 3 million now. But from that one video, my followers increased about 50,000 followers. And then about a week later, I had another video that got another 2 million views. And then fast forward to when you and I were having breakfast about, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, yeah.
My videographer sent me a text message and he goes, have you looked at the video you posted this morning? It's getting some momentum. So when we met, it had 147,000 views. And by the time that we finished breakfast, it had gotten up to 220. And now it's almost up to 7 million.
It is crazy. You know, and this is the thing that it was, I remember we were sitting there and we started and you were like, it's 100. I was like, are you kidding me? And then as you were getting ready to leave, I was like, check it one more time. And I was like, what? I mean, it wasn't like we had this long brunch, you know what I mean? It was just really in and out. So crazy
right.
what you there.
But you know, Jimmy, it's got like 1.5 million hearts, 1.5 million likes, but it's got 43,000 shares. That's what's incredible. It's got tens of thousands of comments, like 32,000 comments, but it's got 43,000 shares.
This is incredible. What would you say to the person that says, well, that's great, that's all that exposure, but is it paying off? How would you answer that?
So last week we had 3 appointments just from TikTok. And so we get comments within the video. We get comments of people saying, we're moving to Atlanta. We want you to be our realtor. We get direct messages through Instagram, direct messages on our website. So people go from TikTok. We found you on TikTok. We want to talk to you about listing our house, selling our house, buying a house. So it is definitely converting into business, which is insane to me. So I think last week we had 2 listing appointments in the $1 million price range just from TikTok.
You're kidding me. So see,
No, this is what's funny is that both of those appointments, it was the kids who said to their parents, hey, I found this real estate agent on TikTok. You should talk to her.
Come on. So you're coming in from the back door with the kids there. It's like, this is like church. They have a good youth program so they can then have the parents that get there. So this is really good stuff. But let me say this too. I'm really curious on the content creation part. You talked about you're shooting that many videos. How are you keeping up with those ideas? You don't just show up and just shoot. I mean, obviously there's probably some framework. What are you doing between shoots? Are you keeping a notebook on with some ideas? Are you just doing it off the top of your head? How are you doing that to where you're ready to go when the shooting time comes?
So I put all of the ideas in my notes, and then I toss stuff to Denver throughout the month. And then also there is a question and answer section within TikTok. And so we go through all of those questions and pull out questions and answer those. So that's what we do from 8:10 to 8:30 is we frame out like what are the topics that we're going to address. And then also it's really kind of free flowing because what I found is it's an 11-hour day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, some days I am just on fire, like wanting to do story time and just cracking up and being hilarious. And I'm a little bit spicy or sassy or throwing a little Southern shade. And so on those days we do more story time. And then on the days that I'm a little bit more buttoned up, we, just work on like informing people how to buy a house, how to sell a house, things to look for in a real estate agent, the things that'll help you get your house sold that people won't tell you. So that kind of stuff. But I love a good story time. There's nothing better than a good story time. So the one that has the 7 million views, it is actually about when I sold a house in 1995 for $5.5 million. I made $137,000. And rather than investing that in a townhouse on Lenox Road, which is a fancy road here in Atlanta, I went and bought a new Mercedes and I bought some new clothes, and that Mercedes isn't worth anything and those clothes don't fit. And I guess that really resonated with a lot of people. So in that townhome, that I could have bought for $100,000 back in 1995 just sold for $1 million. So I think that it was twofold. It was like, don't piss the money away. And then on top of that, if you invest in real estate, the appreciation of real estate.
Hey, Glennda, one of the things I love too that you do is that you just talk about what you know. And you know, some people tell me, they're like, oh, well, I wouldn't know what to say. Just talk about what you know. I think that's a big thing that people sometimes stumble on is that they get worried about what they're going to say instead of just, like you say, answering the question. I love your format too, where you're actually speaking to your videographer. And you're looking at them, you're speaking to them. The camera just happens to be on. You're telling them the story.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about someone that may be thinking about, I know that I should do this. Where would you start if you were starting on, I don't care whether it's Instagram, TikTok specifically, but any of the platforms, where would you start as far as getting started on there? And if you don't mind, just share a little bit about that.
So I will tell you, I think the easiest place to start is live video. I started with Facebook Live because that's where people know, like, and trust you already. That's where you're going to get the least amount of hate. So if you start in, the platform where most of your, contemporaries are, then you're going to have a much safer space. Start with live video, because if you're shooting video where it gives you, no, my hair doesn't look right. No, that didn't sound right. I messed up on that word, delete. You'll never get it done. Whereas if you just start on live video, it's in the moment. People love it. And you can just be yourself. It's very authentic, and you don't have the luxury of critiquing it. So that's what I love about live video. So if you're just starting, I would say definitely start with live video. And then for me, it just didn't really work when we were shooting those videos. To look at the camera just didn't seem natural. For me, I'm just really good in conversation. Like, I love talking to people. Like, I never meet a stranger. I could talk your ear off and everybody else is in the room because I love to talk. And so that's what we really found worked well for me, was being in conversation. So we've got Sam, the lighting guy, over there, and I just tell the stories to Sam, and it's hilarious because sometimes Sam will get tickled and he's trying to, not laugh and be quiet, not to mess up the video. So it really kind of feeds the energy of the room. It's been amazing.
Yeah, that is great. Let's talk a little bit about, because you mentioned it briefly, 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning. Is there a time that's better, or what's the consistency and kind of the cadence for your posting? How often?
So I was posting anytime that, the mood struck me, anytime that I remembered. And it said, oh, well, look and see when most of your followers are online, and post at 3 or 12 to 3 or 11 to 12. And I would post, and I just wasn't getting a ton of momentum. And then one night I posted like at 10:30, and that one got a lot of views. It got, I don't know, maybe 100,000 views. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so then the next morning I woke up and I thought, well, I'm going to try posting in the morning and see what happens. And I wake up every morning between 5:50 and 6:10. And so I got up and I said, okay, I'm going to post now. So it was like 6:30 in the morning, and that one got like 700,000 views. And I was like, okay, so this is good. So, but once I got that video that got 2 million, 2.5 million views, I was like, okay, I'm going to post every single day. So I have posted every single day since April 14th, and I've gone from 50,000 followers to over 300,000 followers.
300,000 followers.
Since April 14th.
That's incredible. Since April 14th. That is it.
Yeah, and we've gone from 6 million views. So we had 6 million cumulative views on April the 14th, and now we're at 30.
Oh my gosh. It's such a great story, Glennda. I just love everything you do. I love me some Glennda Baker. You know that. But I'll say this, you're such an innovator. And from a standpoint of just encouraging those people out there, is there anything that you wish you would have done sooner, or that you can think to encourage some of those folks out there that maybe where you and I were so many years ago as far as starting our careers? Is there anything you would do to encourage them right now, and what you wish you would have done sooner?
Put it all on video. Like, literally, rather than just posting pictures, put everything on video, just throw it all out there and be yourself, because that's the thing. People, my mom used to always say, Pumpkin, you got a distinct personality. They're either going to love you or they're not. There's no end. And why not just get rid of the riffraff early on? There's no need to try and fake who you are, because at some point it's going to be revealed and they're going to decide they don't like you, and you will have already wasted all of that time. So the best thing to do is just be yourself, get out there and do it, record and document everything. And if you think that you're not interesting, think about what goes on in real estate every single day. The houses that you show. I mean, when I first started posting on TikTok, I never will forget, I posted this video, and and the video was 3 things that tell you it's a piece of shit kitchen renovation. That they didn't paint the inside of the cabinets, that they didn't change out the outlets, that they used laminate. I mean, it was like just crazy. And it was just me videoing a house that I was showing. So and I videoed a house that was faux finished, head to toe, top to bottom, front to back. Beautiful house. The thing had more faux finish than literally Leonardo da Vinci's house. I mean, it was faux finished head to toe. It was horrible. That thing has like 1 million views on it. So that's the thing, is like, if you don't want to be in front of the camera, show them what you're doing. Document behind the scenes, because people love to know what happens in real estate.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I know there's probably going to be somebody that sees this that is thinking, you know what? I actually have someone that is moving to Atlanta that I could refer to Glennda. What's the best way for them to find you, Glennda?
Oh my gosh, Jimmy, I'm the most unanonymous person in the world. It is Glennda Baker, GLENNDABAKER. You can Google me, and it's Glennda Baker on everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but you just Google me, you'll find me. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I would love the opportunity to help. As I always say, send me a text, tag me in a post, give me a call. That's what I love the most, because I love the opportunity to talk real estate with you today.
Glennda, you are literally the tip of the spear, and I would encourage everybody that's listening to go out there and follow everything you're doing, because if I had to draw it up exactly how I wish every agent would do social media, it would be the way you do it. So listen, thanks for taking the time, and guys, I know you probably got something out of this. Reach out to Glennda, let her know how much you appreciate her, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.